I have the Miami Dolphins selecting first overall. They really got beaten badly in their first game, and it looks like they're gonna have a pretty bad year, and there's a good chance they'll select first overall. And I think they'll look at quarterback. There's a chance that they'll see enough in Josh Rosen to not take a QB, or maybe they want to wait and try to get Trevor Lawrence the following year. Now they have a lot of extra draft picks. They could move up even if they don't end up being the first overall pick right away. So, but right now I have that being Tua Tagovailoa, who has had a good start to the year, and I think that would be a good selection for him. I have the Arizona Cardinals selecting second overall. I think Kyler Murray might have kind of an up and down year. He'll probably have some bright spots, but struggle at points too. So I don't think their record will be that great. And I think they would take Chase Young, the edge rusher out of Ohio State. He's had a good start to the year, and I've had him as the best available player at this point. And a young up and coming team like that would like to have a really good edge rusher like Chase Young is. I have the Detroit Lions selecting third overall, and I've them taking AJ Epinesa, the edge rusher from Iowa. I don't think he's far behind Chase Young right now as the top edge rusher in the draft, and pretty much everyone would like to have good young edge defenders like that, and the Lions I don't think are an exception. So I have them taking a really good young prospect in Epinesa. I have the Washington Redskins selecting fourth overall, and I have them taking Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver from Alabama, who is one of the best wide receiver prospects to come out in a long time, and he'd be a good weapon for Dwayne Haskins when he starts playing, and I think they could make a very good duo for a long time. I have the Cincinnati Bengals selecting fifth overall, and I have them taking CeeDee Lamb, the wide receiver from Oklahoma. In the past mock draft, I have them taking a quarterback, but Andy Dalton showed out well in week one. He seemed like he did pretty well in Zach Taylor's new system. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point. I don't think it's out of the question that Cincinnati takes a quarterback, but as of right now, I have them taking Lamb, who I think is really talented. I have him as the next receiver, best receiver after Jerry Jeudy at this point in a really good wide receiver class. And they could use someone because AJ Green is always hurt and he's on the back end of his career anyways. And I think he would be a good young wide receiver to put into that system. With the sixth pick, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Justin Herbert, the quarterback out of Oregon. Now, this would obviously mean that they decide to move on from Jameis Winston, who didn't play well in week one, and he's been inconsistent throughout his career. And if he continues to not play well throughout the season, I think there's a good chance they could look at quarterbacks, and I have them taking Justin Herbert in this scenario. I have the New York Giants selecting seventh overall, and I have them taking Andrew Thomas, a tackle from Georgia. The Giants addressed a lot of their offensive line, but I think they could use a guy at right tackle. They have Nate Solder on the left side right now, but I think Andrew Thomas could slide into the right side and probably be the eventual replacement at left tackle. Thomas, I think, is the best offensive line prospect, at least tackle prospect, in the draft at this point. And I think that would be a good pick for the Giants to secure their line a little bit more. I have the New York Jets selecting 8th overall, and I think they could use some help at cornerback. And right now I have Jeffrey Okudah as the best cornerback prospect in the draft at this point. I think there's a lot of guys who could be in the mix as the first one taken. I think it's a pretty good draft for corners, but at this point I have Okudah as the number one guy taken, and I think that'd be a good fit for the Jets. I have the Denver Broncos selecting 9th overall, and then I have them taking Grant Delpit, the safety from LSU. The Broncos could need a safety next year since Justin Simmons is going into the final year of his contract. So if he leaves, they'll have a spot to fill, and Delpit would be a great person to fill that role. He's one of the best prospects in this draft, regardless of position. With the 10th pick, I have what will be the Las Vegas Raiders selecting Jalen Reagor, the wide receiver from TCU. And after the Antonio Brown fiasco, the Raiders are stuck with a need for a receiver, and Reagor is one of the top guys in a really good group of receivers in this class. He's really fast and athletic, and I think that would be a nice pick for the Raiders. I have the Buffalo Bills selecting 11th overall, and I have them taking Tristan Wirfs, the tackle from Iowa. I think the tackle position is a pretty big position of need for the Bills at this point. And right now I have Wirfs as the second best tackle prospect in the draft after Andrew Thomas. So I think that'd be a good fit for the Bills as they continue to try to grow their team. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting 12th overall because I think they'll struggle offensively with Foles being out indefinitely. And I have them going with Jordan Love, the quarterback out of Utah State, who I think has a lot of talent. And if he puts it all together, could be a really good player in the NFL. And he could even maybe sit a year under Nick Foles. But I think he'd be a good shot for him to take a shot for their true franchise quarterback. Okay, that's my early September version of the 2020 NFL mock draft. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you.